Most people don't fail because they train wrong. They fail because they optimize instead of engineering. I started lifting 4.5 years ago. I had literally no idea what I was doing when I started. I loved and still love when things are working efficiently, so I spent a lot of time trying to find what was the most optimal thing to do. And yes, it did teach me a whole lot about bodybuilding. I learned about form, exercise selection, what I liked and what I didn't like, but it had a big flaw that I never saw coming. I created a split that was highly fragile. A highly fragile split leads you nowhere. My name is Raj Patel, and I am a mechanical engineering student who has been training for over 4.5 years. I went from a 120-pound skinny fat kid to a 160-pound aesthetic engineer. The reason I said I was a mechanical engineering student is because I have been taught to create and analyze systems. And in this short video, I'm going to analyze why your optimal split is fragile and how to fix it. Don't worry, I'm not going to get super complicated in this video. I'm going to keep it very simple and tie it straight back into bodybuilding. If you find the information in this video useful, I have a lot more facts to spit. I've learned a lot over the 4.5 years I've been training. If you want to make gains and if you want to look more aesthetic faster, click the top link in the description to sign up for one-on-one coaching calls. The next 7 people to sign up will receive a discounted price. First, you need to understand fragile and its opposite term, robust. These two terms are a part of systems engineering. A system is fragile when it breaks under stress, meaning if you apply a certain stimulus to it, and if the system is just not able to handle it, or if it's just not able to cope with it, the entire system just breaks. What this looks like in bodybuilding is having cutthroat expectations in the gym. So if you are a beginner and you go to the gym and you're like, yep, 1 month in, I'm going to get all the girls. 1 month in, I'm going to have 20-inch arms. Dude, you're gonna be in for it. That is a fragile way of thinking, because when you don't get those girls and when you don't get 20-inch arms in 1 month, what are you gonna do? You might just end up quitting the gym. A lot of beginners have this mentality that if they go to the gym, they're gonna get so many gains so quickly. And a lot of beginners also have the mentality if they go to the gym, they're gonna get so many women, all the bitches are gonna want them. It doesn't necessarily work like that, trust me, because I was that same guy. I started the gym because I wanted to get more attention from girls. So I went to the gym, and then after like 6 months, dude, the amount of attention I was getting from girls was relatively the same. Nothing really increased. I was still getting basically no attention, but my bicep was slightly bigger. And another way of what fragile looks in bodybuilding is changing up your split too often. So again, I used to do the same thing. I would go to the gym. As a beginner, I had a split. I created a split. It was really bad. I created a split, and then I'm like, yeah, I need to do this. I need to do this. And then after like a week or so, I'm like, oh, I'm not really making enough gains. Then I would look for another split. But oh, that split, that split, exactly what I need. I'm gonna do that. I would do that for a week, and I'm like, oh, that split over there. That's exactly what I need. I'm gonna go do that split. I would jump from split to split because I'm like, ooh, more gains, more gains. And another way of what fragility looks like in bodybuilding is optimal exercises. Again, when I was a beginner, I would search up what is the best exercise for biceps. I'd watch all the videos. And be like, this consistently ranked at the top, so it must be most optimal. Then I would go do it. And then Jeff Nipper will come out with a video. That wasn't good. That's not science. This is the science. This is what it says. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to do that. Bigger biceps. But that didn't happen. I would keep jumping around. I would keep trying to find the most optimal exercise instead of just sticking to a certain few biceps exercise. Any exercise, this goes for any muscle group, sticking to a certain regimen, a certain split, a certain few exercises, and then just progressing with those. I was having a fragile mindset of, oh, I need to do this, but I'm not getting the results I want. I couldn't cope with it. So then the system would break and they're like, oh, I need to do something else. I need to do something else. And on the other hand, where you want to be, a system is robust if it is able to withstand a wide range of conditions. Meaning if you put a certain stress on it, a certain stimulus on it, it's able to be like, oh, cool, whatever, keep going. What this looks like in bodybuilding is basically the opposite of what beginner version of me was doing. Don't have cutthroat standards when going to the gym. If you go to the gym for the reason of getting more girls, dude, I'm just gonna tell you, it's not that straightforward. Yes, you will become more confident because your muscles are bigger, you're gonna look better, but you also need to become more confident with talking to girls. And that is another skill set that just bodybuilding itself is not going to fix. And another way to have a robust mindset is being okay with the fact that you missed one day in the gym and you're like, okay, that's fine. It doesn't like throw your whole split down the drain. You're like, oh my God, I missed one day. I might as well just miss the whole week. Don't have that mindset. If you miss one day, it's okay. Just go to the gym tomorrow and do what you plan to do the day before. And just really quick, like a side note, I don't understand why people do this. In fact, I don't think people should do this ever. If you are creating a split, if you are designing a split, don't create a split where a certain day in the week means you hit a certain muscle group. So like Monday, chest day, Tuesday, back day, Wednesday, leg day. Now, if it just so happens to be Monday, chest day, Tuesday, back day, Wednesday, leg day, then that's fine. That's fine. But don't be like, okay, every Monday I'm going to hit chest. Every Tuesday I'm going to hit legs. Or sorry, every Tuesday I'm going to hit back. Every Tuesday I'm going to skip legs. Don't do that. It's not smart having a split set up that way, because what happens whenever you just so happen to miss Wednesday? Well, something got in the way. I'm skipping legs. What's going to happen? You just don't end up going to the gym. Sorry, you just don't end up doing legs the next day. Dang, today's Thursday. Thursday is arm day, man. I'm so angry that I skipped yesterday. I'm so angry that I missed yesterday because of circumstances. And the biggest way to create a robust split is creating a split based around your constraints. In other words, constraints based training. I made a whole video on this topic. It's like 20 minutes long. It's one of my best videos yet on the topic of constraints based training. In a nutshell, constraints based training is a split designed around your needs. In that video I made, I go in depth on which factors you need to consider when creating this best split that works for you. Again, if you found this information in this video helpful, click the top link in the description. The next 7 people to sign up to my one-on-one coaching calls will receive a discounted price. You know what to do. Get up and get after it.